Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17
and Greyshot151 here.
and today for Kaiju review we're going over Gamera, Guardian of the Universe.
Yes, when a mysterious atoll is found in the Pacific and a town goes missing in, well, on a small isolated island, their fates become intertwined as humanity tries to discover who is friend and who is foe as the Guardian of the Universe arises and the shadow of evil makes itself known.
So when we were kids, we were going down the aisle of a Hollywood video.
Yes.
And we both saw a movie.
Yep.
You saw a giant turtle. I saw a giant British monster known as Gorgo,
Yep.
which I hope we one day review. But we've watched this movie ever since we were kids.
Yes, where I remember the note, it was like, I get this movie,
Yes.
and then you get that movie.
Yeah.
And we watched this movie, and I recall you were highly entertained by this movie.
I was. But that being said, this film is, again, a film that probably is one of our, probably our big first introduction to Gamera, I would say.
Oh, easily,
Yeah.
Yeah, easily, and I don't think we even realized that they were connected.
And
like,
I just want to show that before we go into this, because we're going to say very high praises for this film.
I think it's well-deserved, even without the nostalgia.
Yes.
So going into this, first off, what we can say, right off the bat, I think the strongest movie for us, the characters.
Yes.
Then the
this
plots.
is the most... This is going to sound weird, but the most human or most natural characters that we've had so far. Because none of them drove me crazy.
Yes.
All of them I understood. Yep. All of them had good story arcs. And all of them made sense. And also, I have to give props to the dub, which I know a lot of times, especially in the 90s, the dub is not that great.
They do a fantastic job.
This one, a few times where I'm like, they actually pay a lot of attention to dub. There's like subtle moments and subtle gestures, stuff like that, where in other Godzilla films, they kind of say it a little more straight, or they don't really have
or they gloss it over.
Yeah, this one, I don't know, they just nails it a lot better. And maybe, and a lot of the cast, too. Like, once again, the detective that gets the zoologist to kind of assist with that, just nails the comedic timing so freaking well in a lot of areas.
He's really funny. But you can also tell just by how they act as well. It's not just like, it's the voice, it's the actors you can tell that are actually putting their effort into this. And it's also the story. The story, if I were to describe to you as, it's about two secret weapons of Atlantis.
Yeah.
That after thousands of years awaken to do battle once more.
Which sounds so stupid.
Which sounds stupid, but this movie takes itself, I don't want to say too seriously, but it knows how to straddle the line between, like,
busting out laughing in the first third.
Yeah,
we were like honestly laughing.
It knows how to straddle the line between seriousness and comedy.
Yeah.
And I think farther into the movie it gets more serious. Like, it leads you in with like a little bit of comedy, but as you realize the situation, it gets more serious. It kind of
it loses that tone a little bit.
It does, but it never lets up. Like, I don't think there's a boring part of this movie.
No.
It keeps it going.
That first third, though, I would say is easily the best part of this film.
Yes.
I would say up and through the dome, with Gamera leaving the dome.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the height of this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the second and third act is bad. It's just not as good as that first act.
The two acts are definitely not as good, but they definitely have their own unique set pieces. And the other thing about this movie is, let's say, compared to Godzilla 2014. Godzilla 2014, there's a slow build-up to the monsters. What I like about this is there's a slow build-up not only to the monsters themselves in the first act, which is their reveal, but there's a slow build-up of what they can do.
Yeah.
Gamera flying in like a saucer-like formation, before then you can see him flying like using just the twin jets. Like, basically he just needs his like back thrusters. Gauss's beam, his fireballs, like there is an elevation to their powers. Yeah. And it's cool to see what they do. There's also a revelation of the motivation of the Gauss and Gamera throughout the film, which I think is also expertly done.
Gauss is the underdog in this movie too.
Like,
Gauss is completely underpowered throughout the majority of it, yet still has like the biggest threat to even Gamera itself. When Gauss is half the size of Gamera and it's still going toe to toe with it, you know that thing is a beast.
There's also a threat in it. Like, it's goofy how they look. I will say
some
the first
shots,
but the early scene, like, especially there's one shot of like a policeman and a fisherman running,
done so well.
And I remember it's one of the most memorable parts of the film. Just this guy screaming "the bird," and then it cuts to him finally just screaming as he's killed. And it's like one of those movie moments I will not forget.
Yeah,
it's very well done. And there's other shots in this movie that are that are creatively done, like how they come up with the idea of capturing the gals. Again, the first third of this movie, I would say, is perfect. Like it captivates you, it teaches you what these monsters can do, and it leads you by the nose, and then it's like you're interested in seeing what's happening.
The worst thing I could say is some of the special effects, like, seriously don't hold up as well. But that being said, I can
compare this to Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Compare this to other Godzilla movies of that 90s format.
Yeah.
And you can see one person knows how to, like, he knows some shots are not going to look great, but there are a lot of shots that are really cool. Like the helicopter coming in at night vision and Gamera rising from the water. Or
simply put, you can do another shot of the helicopters overhead of Gauss.
Or think about this, the baseball scene. Like, they're filming in a stadium. Gamera's busting down the stadium, and then they go inside the stadium.
Making a giant dick.
Not once did I ever think, oh, that, like, they're doing two different shots. I know that, obviously, that's what they did. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, that's the same shot. Yeah. It's the same place.
Yeah. There's a really nice job. There's a good job with the cinematography of this movie, because a lot of Godzilla movies has a lot of standard shots.
I wouldn't say the cinematography. I would just say the practical effects and how they build the shots.
Well, I'm just saying the landscape. Yeah. Sorry, the shot composition, I should say, of how the shot it's done. There's a lot of really cool shots. Like a shot of Gamera falling. Now, I will say another shot that I do like in this film is also that underwater shot of the atoll while we're on that. Yeah. Like with the hammerhead and everything. That's a really intimidating shot of this massive thing.
Which is the first third of this movie. The actors, the plot, everything as you captivate it.
Everything
and the second and third loses a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But it also comes up with some new ideas, which is, we saw this in Gamera 2 with Asagi, but this is like her origin, how she got connected to Gamera.
We saw this in Gamera 2. We saw this in the sequel.
Yes, but you see her connection develop with Gamera. And unlike my whole character development in the 90s movies is, I know where Godzilla is and I point in that direction.
Yeah.
Or I feel Godzilla, but I have no connection to him. In this one, you see the connection between Asagi and Gamera. And while it's not that fleshed out, it's more fleshed out in this one movie than Mickey is in all of the 90s.
I also like how you have one group that is trying to find the birds, and another group that's trying to also examine the turtle, and the one with the turtle's just being shafted.
Yeah,
and I love that little dichotomy between the two of like one trying to up the other with the research. That was also pretty nice. Again, there are some great jokes in this, whether intentional or not.
Yeah,
like them again doing that with the turtle, or him talking about the food.
Moaning.
He's like her at the grocery store with the guy who's trying to sweet talk his way onto the expedition. And be like, no, you don't want to get that. You want to get something better.
Again, what works so well with this movie is the character motivations work. Like this guy, you understand the motivation of this guy. Like he's on this boat, he's in charge of navigation, and somehow he almost risks like polluting the entire sea because an atoll suddenly appears.
Yeah,
he feels responsible. He feels like he needs to be put on this team to find this thing.
Yeah,
and he does everything he can to kind of sweet talk his way onto the ship. And seeing his like character like
him trying to do the right thing.
It's funny, but it's also like you understand what motivates this person.
Can we also give a highlight to the political aspect of this film?
Yeah.
Like they don't shove it in your face, but there's like certain moments where they're like, we can't do anything right now because our bosses are either asleep or they're busy. What do we do? Call the prime minister, right? Shit, it starts running.
Yeah, it's Shin Godzilla is like the bureaucracy at work of Japan.
Yeah, that one is a lot more heavy-handed and more focused.
This one just pokes at it.
Yeah, this one's a lot more a slim version of it, but still works. So just giving like how backwards it can be.
It's also interesting because Gauss starts off small, and everyone's like, Gamera's the threat. Gamera just walked through a city and just destroyed so much shit. We'll capture Gauss. Well, we gotta murder Gamera.
And that's where then
you see throughout the movie, it switches, and they're just like, oh no, Gamera's accidentally destroying us, but Gauss is intently trying to murder us.
I think they wait a little too long on Gauss. I think Gauss gets a little too big and too potent, too harmful for them to be like, yeah, let's still capture it. The thing is like 100 feet tall. How the fuck are you gonna do that? But in any case, overall. Also, one last thing. Can we also go with the music? The music in, especially like the first third, where the music is literally on point. There's a lot of great tracks in there. The second and third's good, but once again, the first third is like there's a lot of great score. The intro of Gamera, for example, is great.
Now, why doesn't this movie work in some respects?
Effects.
One, effects. They don't hold up as well as Gamera 2. Gamera 2, you can kind of see in Gamera 1 what they tested, and Gamera 2 is kind of like their perfection. Or maybe not the perfection, but their next logical step.
My problem with Gamera 2 is also they didn't do a lot of those, like you said, a lot of the same shots. Like, there's a cool shot with the military fighting.
Yeah.
But once again, there isn't as much as in this movie. In this movie, the military actually succeeds in stuff, which is also cool. Yeah. Because Godzilla, it's like, oh, the military almost never succeeds. But in this, like, oh my god, their plan is actually working.
But what I think Gamera 2 does better is the fight. Gauss versus Gamera is not that entertaining to watch. Legion fighting Gamera is insanely watchable. Like, I would watch that fight 10 times to this one.
Can I say something, though?
Yeah.
You're right, it is a weaker fight. But the thing that it does have is this fight also is an aerial battle. And that's the one spot, the spot where they both go up to the literally stratosphere.
And then come back down. Yeah, that is a cool
That is a cool moment. Or, like, the duel that they have at the end. Stuff like that, or even Gamera just popping up and just bitch slapping a Gauss into the gasoline tank. That's cool.
Yeah, that was good. That was pretty good.
But
so overall,
yeah,
this is what I would if you were to ever show someone a kaiju movie.
Yes.
And you wanted to what would you recommend the first movie be? This is that movie, and this is why I wanted to have it the Gamera series as part of Godzilla.
Yeah.
Because when I showed Claire, I didn't show Claire a Godzilla movie first. I showed Claire Gamera 1 because in regards to monster movies, especially kaiju movies, this is the movie that is the best introductory film for anyone that has not, seen these types of films before.
Yeah.
It's got good comedy. It's got a plot that you can understand.
Yeah.
It has a monster that's unique and interesting and different from what you'd expect. And you have a threat that slowly develops.
Great setting,
characters that work.
Good characters.
The effects don't hold up as well, but it's
some
for what
do.
They have to work with.
Yeah.
For a Japanese production, which I'm sure this budget was minuscule, they use a lot of practical effects, and they keep the shots that they don't have the biggest budget to a minimum.
Yeah.
And it really does work. I think this movie works far more times. Nine times it works out of 10 compared to 1 time it doesn't.
With all that said,
yes.
It is now time to place this movie on our scale.
Okay.
Which, by the way, we've hit 15 movies, so...
Godzilla Sitting Me on the Edge. Later.
Oh, my God. Oh, by the way, that other movie, the Godzilla movie, Planet Eater, comes out middle of January.
Ha!
Oh, boy.
Well, it's never gonna... Listen, I already know what's gonna happen, and if you even think it's gonna meet on the top half of this list, no.
If you think it's going to reach the top 10%, the bottom 10% of this list, even get above that, no. Probably not. But in any case, let's get to this, shall we? So where will we put it? Here's the thing.
Yes.
I'm of the mindset, because of this movie so strong.
Yes.
What was the issue? The same thing with Godzilla 2014.
Yes.
The beginning of it was very strong.
Yes.
It did have some moments that highlight the best of Godzilla.
Yes.
But that being said, it cut away a lot, didn't show a lot of the action. This had a lot more action to it, but it was more kind of average, but there were a few highlight moments.
I don't think the characters were, again, Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston's the best part, but
Bryan Cranston, Ford's character, Ken Watanabe, those characters, a lot of the characters sell themselves in Godzilla 2014.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you just say...
Ford in the first 45 minutes. What I will say is you may like the characters more, but the performances, I think, are better. I will also think that the motivation of the Mutos as a threat to Godzilla is better implemented than the Gauss compared to Gamera. Even though the two are better linked, the threat that the Mutos pose, I think, is better fleshed out in 2014 than Gamera 1.
Yeah.
But I will say, though, when it compared to Gamera 2, this movie, I think, is better as an overall film, but is weaker in regards to kaiju fights.
Yes.
In regards to Gamera vs. Legion, that is superior, but as an overall film with character development, with the plot setup, with how the pacing goes, this movie is stronger than Gamera 2.
Yes. I was going to say, it is. The monster fights are better in Gamera 2 and a lot grittier, but that being said, I think this movie had a lot better characters. I think this movie had a lot better in terms of both horror and jokes. So I would put it above Gamera 2.
Yes.
The problem is, do we put it above Godzilla 2014?
I would vote no.
And this is the weird part, because originally I was on your side until I watched this movie again, and I realized the soundtrack is fantastic.
Yes.
Some of the, again, for what they were trying to do with the effects, I can give them that. The characters are, even though Bryan Cranston is in himself a great character, he's only in 45 minutes of this movie. all 4 of these characters are in the majority of the movie, along with an interesting side cast. The head of the military, the military general himself, which is just plain coat, but actually has a little bit to him. Then you also have the detective, which is by far one of my favorite supporting characters, just in general.
Any kaiju film.
He's incredible with the little screen time through his visual, like his facial expressions, and the dub actor is just perfect. Once again, and he's in a lot of stuff like Kung Fu Panda as the stepfather. Again, just great comedic bits. But what he does in here, I thoroughly enjoy. All the main cast have story arcs that go from beginning to end, and each of the cast does a okay to good job. Not great, but compare that to Godzilla 2014, where you have Bryan Cranston unfortunately cut short. He's still better than all of them, but Ken Watanabe has the same sort of staring into the wilderness look.
Yeah.
And you have Ford, who literally turns into wet paper.
So it's almost like I have a good reasoning for adding these onto the list. It's almost like I know what I'm talking about. Shocking.
Listen, let's not go that far. But in any case, now that I've actually somehow was this your plan the entire time to Gamera to be number 1?
You mean like I intentionally made an effort to make Godzilla 2014 seem like it'd be number 1 and then force you to say the reasons why Gamera 1 was better?
Wow, that is some manipulating on your part that I will congratulate you on. Bravo. So here's a question for you. What are we watching next? What movie could possibly topple Gamera for number 1?
We're not watching a movie.
What?
We're watching 2. Our next one, we're doing a double feature. Godzilla 1954.
Oh, yes!
And Godzilla King of the Monsters that originated in 1956.
This is going to be so interesting.
So, we are going to be watching the 2 original. So, if this would be the movie I think has a really good shot at making number 1.
Yeah. Wow, we've been on a goddamn streak.
Yep.
We've had, again,
Trust me, it's not going to last. Enjoy it while you can.
What? Why?
Oh, the one after?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to know. Let's just say it brings back a character that I'm sure you adore.
Oh, no. Is it Son of Godzilla?
All around me are familiar faces, worn out.
God damn it. Are you serious?
Any case, guys.
Deal with God, fuck.
Any case, guys, while my brother goes into a mental breakdown, we hope you've enjoyed this Kaiju review of Gamera, Guardian of the Universe, and we'll see you next time with our double feature review of Gojira and Godzilla, King of the Monsters, 1956.
We'll see you guys next time.
Later.
This, on the other hand...
Da-na-na. Pure 90s. Could you just see this? WWE presents Gamera, Guardian of the Universe.
This is so cheesy, it's not even funny.
Yeah, that part did not hang up.
Once again, we're just gonna put black bars over it, people. Can we just say this is one of the, like, when we watch
if you want to set up an opponent, like, set up something that's evil,
this is how you do it.
This is how you set up something intimidating.
That little scene right there
is
one of my favorite monster scenes.
Remember watching that as a kid?
That's what I mean. It scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, that was just like, because you got to think, that's like...
Especially when it's like, the birds! It's like, oh, with the lightning, it's like...
Yes, it's like, oh, honey, I'm home. I had this really crazy guy talk to me today. Oh.
I like how, like, a bird, like, really?
It's like if I was her, I'd be thinking disease.
Yeah.
Like, immediately I was thinking, okay, if there's some kind of danger, maybe a disease from, like, avian flu.
Yeah.
The avian flu does not cause that, though.
I
like the boats on the, or maybe that's just naturally there, I don't know.
No, I think one of them dragged a boat onto the land. I would want really long gloves. Really fucking long gloves.
Oh, that's a pen.
It's on our fucking radar.
We're in pursuit of the giant bird. Jets?
Once again, it's just like great.
I love the description they give these characters because they are unique.
Yeah.
Stay inside and don't put out the feeders.
Let's do it.
I love this pilot being like, fuck it, it's my job.
We're going.
Like, I mean, do we have anything to kill it?
No.
If it attacks the helicopter, are we screwed? Yes.
Well, no, that thing will be fucking screwed if it goes after propellers. Propellers will shred that thing. It's.
I love it.
It's his face. He's just like. She says everything. Like, you don't need. Like, that's. If he didn't shit his pants on the helicopter.
Can we picture that? Just have a thing, nut up or shut up?
Just put that on the thumbnail. Just have his face just like cut away to like the thumbnail and just his face. Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. Again, a clever use of something that's there.
Yeah. It's literally giving this thing a seizure. Also, they're pumping it forward.
Activate the seizure procedure. Like, yeah, it's that thing has just had the worst day of its life.
Also, like 4 shots took out the other one. This one's literally being pumped
this one's
with
like
20 times.
This one has like 100 bullets in it. It's just gone.
Hello.
That thing's screaming for its life, like holy shit!
Go!
Yeah. Now explain to me which one's the bigger threat again. He's the one that's going. He's not dealing with this shit. He's just gonna hide in the building and be like, yeah, you guys, good luck. Good luck holding it off. Okay, guys, we're gonna. Alright, just like a minute. Sir, yeah, we have a giant make it a giant flying turtle. Yes, I'm not drunk. Why are you asking?
And now you have an elephant as big as a freaking whale. Holy shit.
We have launch.
I just imagine a ship nearby and you just see that thing fly. You're like,
there's
well, the Russians just launched a nuke. Alright.
Or a giant flying turtle came out of the ocean.
What did I think of the U.S. ballistic systems in the area.
Pick that thing up? Oh my god.
We have a missile launch in the Japanese Sea.
It's
Russia, you wanna explain yourself?
Stealth attack. If the Gauss doesn't see him, then it doesn't know that he's there.
Bullshit. The Gauss is...
It's a stealth entrance. Remember, complete silence.
This is about stealthy as a bunch of fireworks going off.
It's stealth mode.
There are literally buildings falling over in a line.
Gauss obviously doesn't know anything's up. Again, look, there's nothing going on.
You know what? You're
completely
right. You're
undetected.
Right. Japan is used to having major earthquakes, so that you're right. Gauss is like, really?
Really, right now? This is your attempt to sneak up on me? There's the end. Okay,
oh
good to know.
God.
Good to know. This is the ending. Thank you.
Everything. They're like, fuck it, just throw in the end. Hello everyone, and before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Rifle, JP Val, JustThomasPlays, jrchicklis, Streakingwookie, Matthew Leppen, Milam, Onlyplayapples, WhiteHotD, sgtMcPain, Ollie, Delta, Joey, Ace, Jordan Savat, RASpawn, Nathan Angus, Aaron Yee, Tim, and of course, Leo Lou. Thank you all for your amazing support, and I'll see you all next time.